everyone. Welcome here to MontevalleFalcons.com. I'm Assistant Sports Information Director Nick Moeller alongside Head Women's Basketball Coach Cindy Hilbrich. How are you today?
Great. How are you doing today?
Doing well.
Good.
You guys have been a hot streak so far. Last time we talked before break, said you lost a couple of winnable ones. You thought you were on the edge of kind of breaking through though, and that's really shown. Won 3 of your last 4, and then the one loss was to tough Francis Marion team on the road by 2 points. So do you guys feel like you turned the corner?
I think we have. I think our rotation is better. I think everybody has kind of figured out where they fit in on the team, what's expected of them. We're trying to teach them to kind of feed the hot hand. If Taylor's on fire, we need to get it to Taylor. If Jackie hit 2 threes in a row, get her the ball again. And we're really starting to learn that and figure out how to play as a team.
Right. And speaking of Taylor Beverly, she's drawn a lot of focus. She's drawn almost 20-10 at least every night. She's really putting up some impressive numbers on Peach Belt leading scorer, could break some Montevallo records. As her coach, what are you seeing from her that really takes her to that elite level?
I think that she's really carrying the team on her shoulders this year. She knows it's her responsibility. She expects those numbers every night, and I think she gets a little frustrated if really, like the other night she was frustrated and she had, I think, 20 and 11.
Right. What other people would kill for.
Yeah, right. Even other coaches in the conference, it was the Pembroke assistant coach that said, man, she killed us. I'm like, you stopped her. She was 2 of 12 in the first half, and she's like, she had 20 and 11. I'm like, you stopped her.
Right.
Like
that's the best you can hope
she
for.
could have had 38 if she was hitting. In that particular game, she was off a little bit, and that's okay because now we're starting to have other players step up. And then in the second half, Taylor found her groove, and we were able to get a good win against a tough Pembroke team.
Absolutely. I think somebody else, she really stands out when you watch just Taylor, but Shea Bonner, your lone senior, really, her steals, her defense is really impressive. She plays with this tenacity that really kind of jumps out at you as a fan.
Yeah, she just has a knack for the ball. She goes hard all the time. We try to keep her out of foul trouble.
Right.
I think that's been the problem this year. But she just goes so hard.
Right.
Sometimes she doesn't know when to put the brakes on a little bit. But we love that about her, and we know that when she's playing hard, we know she's going to get some steals and hopefully help us get some easy buckets.
Right. And Taylor and Shea kind of the two that step out at you, but I was interested in just kind of going back through the numbers of the team. That person who's averaging the most minutes on the team is actually Katielston, and she's kind of underappreciated with that kind of stuff, kind of overlooked. What is about Katie what does she bring to this team?
Katie does a great job because she's really smart. She knows all of our plays, forwards and backwards, knows even where the guards are supposed to be. She sets great screens. Right. I think sometimes they're probably illegal screens that don't get called, but hey, if you don't get caught, then it's fine. Right. But she knows how to get people like Taylor and Shea and Jackie open for shots. She's just fundamentally solid. She'll block out, she'll get good rebounds, and she's actually a really good compliment to Taylor because teams think, oh, we'll just leave her open, leave Katie open, and double on Taylor. And Taylor now is finding, hey, I can dump it down, and Katie's going to make the layup or knock down the 15-footer. And even Jerissa Green stepped in against Pembroke. Her defender was sagging off of her, helping on Taylor, and she hit 2 15-footers in a row for us. And the bench went crazy, so it's great to have other people step up like that.
Absolutely. And then you kind of alluded to them earlier, but 2 other mainstays in your lineup have been Jasmine Thomas and Jacqueline Thompson. Jasmine, she's kind of had flashes of really looking impressive. I know the Georgia Southwestern game, she had 12, I believe, had some nice little runs. And Jacqueline, she's an all-around player, but her three-point game is really something that the defense have to account for.
Definitely. The other day, I think it was against Francis Marion, Jackie's defender stayed down right next to Taylor, and we just passed it up top, and Jackie was able to knock down the open 3, and I was like, well, if that's how they're going to defend us, we'll keep running it and just give it to Jackie. I know she was frustrated at Pembroke. She had some open looks and wasn't able to knock them down. And sometimes it happens. You're going to have good games, you're going to have bad games. And Jasmine Thomas, JT, we're just trying to get her to be aggressive consistently because you're right, she has those flashes. But if she can attack off the ball screens and crash the boards hard and play good defense, that's what we need her to do. I don't need her to score 20 points a game. If she can get 6 to 10, that's great. But we're really focusing on her. We're working on her decision making, which is tough, and that just comes with growing up and more minutes.
Right.
But we're really trying to get her to be more aggressive consistently, and that really helps us out.
Right. And then the point guard spot. We'll go to the point guard spot. I know you were a point guard. Coach Reeves was a point guard, so kind of, I assume, has a special place in your heart, the point guard spot. New players this year for it. Can you talk about the Carrington Case, Brianna Singleton kind of tandem? They seem like they bring different things to the team.
Oh, they definitely do. Sometimes Case plays hard. I mean, Bree plays hard too, but Case is so fast.
Right.
Kind of reminds me of me a little bit.
Okay.
You know,
All right.
slow it down, but it's there. So sometimes it's just a matter of her making the right decision. But she definitely brings a different dynamic to the team because she is able to push the ball up the floor a little bit more. She attacks the rim a little bit better than Bree does. And she's really starting to learn the offense and what I expect from her.
Right.
And Bree is doing a great job. You know, it's tough for anybody to come in and learn a new system, new coach, but especially as a freshman.
Right.
You know, she's really smart. She understands all the plays, understands what I want. The other, I can't remember what night it was, it might have been Georgia Southwestern, 31 minutes and 0 turnovers as a freshman. Like, that's fantastic. For anybody, that's fantastic.
Right.
You know, so I think, you know, as we're figuring out our rotations and what's working best for us, it's been great to be able to put both of them in at different parts of the game. Case is a little bit more in-your-face type of defender, so if we need that and we need to push the ball a little bit more, you know, Case is going to be in there. If it's a team that wants us to play fast and we need to control the tempo a little bit more, Bree might get a little bit more minutes. You know, as a coach, you kind of just have to go with your gut.
Right.
Who's playing well that day? You know, the flow of the game, those types of things. But they've both done a great job for us.
Absolutely. It goes back to before. You can talk about the team learning their roles, but you've also kind of learning where to put everybody in with the new players of everything fitting together. About halfway through the Peach Belt Conference, what are your impressions of the conference as a whole? What have you seen so far?
The conference this year is crazy, and all the coaches I've talked to, we all say the same thing. Anybody can beat anybody.
Right.
You know, the top on the East, Francis Marion and Armstrong were both like 6-5 or something like that, somewhere around there. You know, and on the West side, just everybody's just beating each other up.
Absolutely.
Really. You know, North Georgia's on the top right now, but they just lost this past weekend to GRU and went into overtime at Aiken. So it's really, you know, it's anybody's game, any day, and we're not where we want to be right now, but we know there's a lot of games left.
Everything's still in front of you.
Yeah. And we know that we just need to keep fighting to, like, just get in the conference tournament. You know, we feel like we can make a really good run once we get in the tournament.
Absolutely. And you've turned the corner. Really kind of the second half of the season, you really started to take off, but obviously still things you can improve on. What are you looking forward to, or what are you looking for the team to improve on, and where do you think you're at, like, in terms of living up to the potential of this team?
I think we're close to the potential. You know, we have made a good run recently. We're just trying to get better every day and every game. I think every game, especially now, you know, in the middle of the season, it's more games almost than practice.
Right.
So we're really learning a lot with each game, and we're trying to take those steps forward. Unfortunately, I think for them, I'm always a person that's like, we can do better. You know,
Right.
What else can we do better? What can we do differently? They're really starting to buy into our zone press and our rotations. Even after the game at Pembroke, we really like this zone. I'm like, about time, we've been running it for 3 months, you know, like, buy into it. But they're starting to understand that when they do it the right way, it works, and they're starting to have fun with it. So, you know, I want to get better at some of our rotations. When we were at Francis Marion, the very last possession, we didn't rotate right, and they got an easy bucket, and then we had to come down and try to score. So, you know, defensively, we want to work on that. We're always working on stopping the drive because there's a lot of teams that will just duck their head and go to the hole. And we have to get low and play better defense. And another thing that we're always working on is blocking out.
Right.
Always. You know, we always want to win the rebounding battle. And it's been a couple games since we've done that. I think we beat Pembroke on the boards by 2. So the girls are happy about that.
Right, good.
Yeah.
Should be a real exciting end of the year. Got Armstrong this Saturday real quick. Anything you want to talk about Armstrong? What do you think you're expecting for that game?
They're a tough team. You know, they play hard. They have a new coach this year. And she was an assistant at Columbus State for a few years when I was an assistant at Aiken, so I know her pretty well.
Okay.
They have good shooters. You know, they have kids that can score. They have 3 that are averaging double digits. You know, so we have to be ready to go. It's always tough to win against a Peach Belt opponent, but especially on the road.
Yeah.
So we have to bring our A game and be ready to go.
Great. Well, best of luck in that. And if you want to tune in to the Armstrong game, that's tipping off 12:30 Central Time this Saturday. All links to the video stream can be found on MountBelleFalcons.com. For Coach Cindy Hilbrich, I'm Assistant Sports Information Director Nick Moeller. Thank you for watching, and go Falcons.